Now when I tell her that I may not have the full $2,100, I only have been given 1 day, which is actually less than 24 hours. I was able to come up with the money. I called her, and when I told her I had the money, I had the $2,100, she sounded like she was surprised and said, "You do?" And when I said, "Yes, I do," she said, "I'll call you back in 5 or 10 minutes. She returned my call maybe about 10 minutes later, and she said, "The deal's off the table because you were 4 minutes late calling." When initially this whole thing had started, I was ashamed, I was embarrassed, I felt like I was irresponsible. It's a personal assault. Foreclosure is a personal assault. It's overwhelming. I talking to, I had spoke at a church yesterday explaining my situation, and I said, I have this dining room table. It used to belong to my mother. My mother sat at that table. Different family members that passed have sat at this table, so it's very special to me. And now it's dismantled. And it's put into my bedroom. It was in October, 2011. And so during the redemption period of 6 months, twice Cindy Koonce promised me she would do everything she could so that I could keep my home. I believed her. So, you know, it's like I have $50,000, over $50,000 worth of equity in my home. So during that redemption period, I could have sold had I thought I was going to be homeless. But because I put faith and hope in Cindy Koonce's words, I didn't sell. She called me back the following Monday and she said, "Anita, I got your message. I canceled the management company from coming out today. They're rescheduled for Friday to come out at noon to change the locks and to clean out the place. You'll need to pack your belongings and leave." And even though Occupy Homes Minnesota is you know, based right here in Minneapolis, it was a friend of mine, Janine Norman, that had emailed me this information all the way from Alabama.
I hadn't known her before this. I'd been involved with Occupy since last year. I'd been involved with Occupy Homes, and I met Anita at a barbecue, and that was when I realized that she was very nearby to me, was within 3 blocks of my house, and that's when I really recommitted to being involved in her campaign and came into a whole community of neighbors that are behind Anita and want to keep her in her home.
June 19th at 11:20 a.m., the sheriff came and posted an eviction notice on my door. Cindy Koonce had finally called me, and this is what she had said to me. She said, "Anita, we will rent you your home for 1 year, and then in the same breath change it to 2 years, and then we will refinance you." What she said she wanted was $2,100 up front. I asked her if she could email me the paperwork. She said it hadn't even been put to draft. She said, "I will either drive down tomorrow or Thursday." So that's 2 days. I got off the phone and I talked with Chris a little bit. And then I called Cindy Koonce back maybe about 20 minutes later. And I asked her, I said, "If I don't have the full $2,100 by tomorrow, full $2,100, could the balance be paid over a 3-month period?" She said, "No. If you don't have the full $2,100 by tomorrow, the deal's off the table." So I got less than 24 hours to come up with $2,100. She returned my call maybe about 10 minutes later, and she said, "The deal's off the table because you were 4 minutes late calling." What happened then was a few people and myself went down to Woodlands National branch here in Minneapolis, and we talked to Joanne White Rabbit, who is I believe she said she's the bank's community representative, and she confirmed that she had heard that the deal was called off because I was 4 minutes late calling. So we actually have a video of that being said.
To Cindy today, she's been putting me through hell, and she told me yesterday.
So can we just note that yesterday we were told by Cindy Koonce that at 12 today we would meet with her or talk to her.
And drive down here and handle
what Woodlands Bank was negotiating with Anita to do is to allow her to rent her home.
Yes, and
she
then,
needed to let us know by noon today if she had the money that they had to discuss
and when
for
did she,
rental purposes.
and when did she,
The homeownership, that issue has already been done, and that was finalized on April 23rd.
so, and when did she call to do that? When did she come to actually do that? It was noon,
So that you needed her to respond saying she had the money for the deal.
Right.
And she did.
and she did.
It was not before noon.
When was it?
Pardon?
When was it?
I'm not sure of the exact time. I just heard from Cindy that it was afternoon.
It was 12:04.
12:04 is what you called.
Okay.
So do you think that that's a legitimate thing to say that 12:04 is too
Not
far
allowed
after?
to say whether it's legitimate or not, but the agreement that you had was that it would be done by noon.
Well, then we need a new agreement then.
We're done.
So you're not going to help?
We're just starting.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
But I just want to acknowledge, Anita, that I have been here for you and worked with you and helped you, and I have tried to help you keep your home. And this is not the first time you've been in this situation.
Most of the time, the homeowners aren't fully aware of what they can do to stay in their home. They're given promises even while the bank continues to foreclose.
As it stands now, the sheriff is on hold indefinitely. So all Woodlands National Bank has to do is pick up the phone and tell the sheriff, take her out. I'm not moving. My bed is now in my living room. Half of it covered with boxes stacked. And sometimes I just sit there because I'm so overwhelmed. It's like, how do you put 17 years of your life in a box? I would like people to support Occupy Homes Minnesota. There's not a definite as to if I'll be able to keep my home, but you know what? I support those that try to help those that want to keep their home. It's amazing how many people in my neighborhood who have put up the Stop Eviction, Stop Foreclosure, Occupy Homes Minnesota. It's so nice to go from feeling ashamed, which I refuse to be ashamed, because I was telling Nick, to feel ashamed is to empower the banks. No. Things I was thinking about, if I get to keep my house, I have an extra room. And what I'd like to do with that room is for at least a minimum of 1 year, let somebody that fights people from losing their homes, somebody that's involved with Occupy, to occupy that room for free, so that they can devote their time to fight foreclosures, to help people stay in their homes. I just want them to have that time and that energy to be used towards something that's meaningful, that means something to someone.
Good.